Now, News Channel 8 at 10 on the CW Tampa Bay. Sponsored by Farah and Farah.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Josh Benson.
And I'm Paola Sorrell. Thanks for joining us for News Channel 8 on the CW Tampa Bay.
Bradenton police say they are looking for the person accused of shooting and killing a 15-year-old boy.
Officials say the teen was murdered late last night along 11th Avenue East. News Channel 8's Ryan Arbogast is live outside the Bradenton Police Department with new information on this investigation. Ryan, just a horrible story.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. The Bradenton Police Department says that residents and 911 callers reported about 3 to 4 gunshots at about 11:30 last night at a quiet residential street just a few blocks away from where we are right now. When first responders arrived to that scene very quickly, they tell us they found the worst case scenario, a young man lying in the pool of his own blood. Bradenton police were on the move Tuesday, knocking on doors nearly a full day after 15-year-old Kayvon Dunbar was gunned down in a driveway on 11th Avenue East.
We never want to see any loss of life, and particularly in this case, a young man, just 15 years old.
Bradenton police say the teenager was at this home, with a bicycle lying abandoned and the front door wide open. Officers say Dunbar did not live there.
He was shot one time, and that's about all I can get into at this point. There were several shots fired, but he was hit once.
The focus of the investigation now, surveillance video. Numerous homes along this busy residential area have cameras, and officers are combing through the footage to get a clearer picture of exactly who pulled the trigger.
We really don't have the full story.
At this point, the police department says they have not made any arrests. They call the investigation active and ongoing. Do we have any people of interest at this point?
So, no, and that's part of the problem.
Now, the Bradenton Police Department is calling on the community to help. They say if you have seen anything, know anything, or can help in any way, make sure to contact their non-emergency line. Reporting live in Bradenton tonight, Ryan Arbogast, 8 on your side.
We want him home. Any child belongs with his parents, his mom, and his dad.
Florida families demanding the release of a 16-year-old Palestinian American who has been held at an Israeli prison for more than 6 months now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Josh Benson.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us. While imprisoned, the teen's family says he's being denied food and medical treatment. 8 on your side investigator Brittany Mueller joins us now in studio as the family calls on the U.S. government for his release.
Jen and Josh, that's right. 16-year-old Mohammed Ibrahim's family says he's supposed to be getting his driver's license and working a summer job at an ice cream shop in Tampa, but instead he's imprisoned in Israel. While his health is deteriorating, Ibrahim's family is now calling on the Department of State for his release.
Mohammed is the first cousin of Saifullah. Saifullah was killed a month and a half ago.
Family of 20-year-old Saifullah Musalet of Tampa says he was brutally beaten to death last month by Israeli settlers while visiting relatives in the occupied West Bank. Ziad Kadur says his death has devastated their family. Now, his 16-year-old nephew's imprisonment in Israel has them fearful for his life and safety.
They came into the house. They took him out of his bedroom, blindfolded him, handcuffed him. And that was 6 months and 10 days ago. That's the last time anybody seen him that knows him.
Kadur says 25 armed Israeli soldiers broke into Mohammed Ibrahim's family's West Bank home while he was visiting back in February.
The prison that he's in is notorious for torture and suffering. He's getting starved, scabies from his feet to his fingertips.
Now, the Council on American Islamic Relations wrote this letter, which was signed by over 100 other advocacy organizations, calls on Secretary of State Marco Rubio for Ibrahim's release.
This is not politics. This is the life of an American teenager who's being held in an Israeli prison.
8 on your side asked the State Department about Ibrahim. A spokesperson shared this statement. If we become aware of an arrest of any U.S. citizen, including a minor, we will provide consular services, including prison visits, to ensure safety and security and communication with family as appropriate. But Kadur says Ibrahim's parents have had no contact with their son in the past 6 months.
Let's get our boy back to his family, back to his parents.
Care Florida says at last check, more than 300 children are detained in Israeli prisons, with a majority being Palestinian. The organization says the situation goes beyond Mohammed Ibrahim. It's about the rights of all children. In the studio tonight, I'm Brittany Muller, 8 on your side.
Good morning and welcome to the Stream Center. As we come on air, we have breaking news locally. The FBI tells us it tells 8 on your side. It's executing a search warrant in the gated community of Avila. That's in North Tampa. You're looking at pictures of that right now. A report from the Justice Department indicates the home was being used as a call center for a church that solicited donations using forced labor. We want to welcome you in. I'm Stacey Scheibel along with Beth Russo. More on the Avila raid right now. The U.S. Department of Justice says 56-year-old Michelle Brannon was arrested in Tampa today. Her partner, 53-year-old David Taylor, was arrested in North Carolina today. The DOJ is accusing both of them of running a forced labor and money laundering conspiracy that victimized people in Florida, Michigan, Texas, and Missouri. The indictment alleges Taylor and Brannon are the leaders of the Kingdom of God Global Church, formerly Joshua Media Ministries International.
A brand new housing facility addressing the needs of families in southern Pinellas County is opening its doors today.
We'll turn now to 8 on your side's Jenna Bass in St. Pete with more on a new resource from Metropolitan Ministries.
This building here behind me off 4th Street North in St. Petersburg represents a major milestone for the city. Metropolitan Ministries is launching their first ever residential housing program aimed at helping families at risk of homelessness. The new David and Virginia Baldwin Family Residence Housing is a partnership with St. Petersburg Free Clinic.
And really it's about us being good neighbors and good partners to our other local nonprofits and trying to fill a need and a gap in the community.
The partnership will provide families in need with not only housing, but nutritious food and health care. Metropolitan Ministries will also continue to offer services like case management, child care, education, and much more aimed at breaking the cycle of homelessness, but also keeping the needs of families at heart.
So this is actually called Play Space, and so this is one of our spaces for kids.
Officials with Metropolitan Ministries say there's a desperate need in St. Pete for safe shelters for families.
So I actually think that there may be more homeless kids in Pinellas than there are in Hillsborough and in Tampa. And so that's really the pivot, is that we are going to be bringing women and children into the facility.
While they're able to help make a difference here, they tell us pinpointing the problem is a much more difficult issue.
The growing need is housing. I mean, and because of housing costs and income not keeping up with housing costs, a lot of our families, particularly who work in service industries or work as, for example, certified nursing assistants in nursing homes and those kind of positions, are really not able to sort of keep up and to make those kind of numbers work.
And officials tell us this shelter is aimed at helping families become self-sufficient while still providing them those resources they so desperately need. Reporting in St. Petersburg, Jenna Bass, 8 on your side.
A heads up for drivers here. Changes are coming to I-275 and it could impact your daily commute.
That's right. 8 on your side's Beth Rousseau live in Pinellas County this morning, where the governor says they're breaking ground on an expansion to I-275. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning. And he says that this could improve drive times up to 85%. So hopefully that relieves some of the frustration for drivers who I know just feel like construction is never ending here on the Howard Franklin Bridge and on I-275 in Pinellas County. Right now, the State Department of Transportation is investing $354 million to widen the lanes of I-275 from 38th Avenue North to 4th Street North. Now, this work is going to include express lanes going in each direction, and it's an effort to really create a continuous corridor from the Howard Franklin Bridge into downtown St. Pete. The governor says this is one of the largest moving Florida forward projects in the region since the start of that program back in 2022. He tells us the new Howard Franklin Bridge is one of the largest infrastructure projects ever delivered in our entire region's history.
The traffic is important for quality of life. It's important for families, but it's also important for business. To be able to move freight across this state, to go from Tampa to Orlando, for example, and do it in a somewhat timely fashion compared to how it's been in the past is really, really significant.
Here on the Howard Franklin Bridge right now, the demolition of the old original bridge structure is currently underway. So far, they've removed 36 of the 322 concrete spans that they have to get done. They're hoping to have all of this work done by spring of next year. We're live on the Howard Franklin Bridge this morning. Beth Russo, 8 on your side.